17 February 2023. Happy Friday to everybody. Starting with SPY, you can see we are on this trend line and we had a gap down. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see we gap down and then morning was really bad and then we tried to fill the gap. We rallied hard in afternoon. Still there's gap left. We are still below this trend line. Okay, you can see this white trend line. We are still below that. So it's possible we can go here. This trend line is about 0.5% away. So there's going to be a battle zone here on this trend line. If we can close above this trend line on Tuesday because we have a long weekend, then we are good for this rally on the green line. Okay, so there are two possible paths I showed you. If we are able to close on Tuesday above this trend line, we are going towards this green path, and my green path will take me to the first gap fill at 421 and second gap fill at 427. My ideal scenario is to get this first gap fill, and then I will take my profits, and then I'll wait for this dump in March. But if we cannot close above this gap on Tuesday, so then yellow scenario is in the picture. Okay, so if you go to again on your hourly chart, this trend line is key. So it's around, I think on Tuesday it's going to be around 4.9, 4.10. So that's where we need to, and if we that's a lot of support around before in around 4.10, and now it became resistance. Okay, you can see support, this is fake out, support, 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 and now it's going to be resistance. Very important to close above this. Okay, so that's on SPY. And then if I go to daily chart, you can see on PPO we start to go now move downwards a bit. So that can show momentum is going down, but still it's a equal battle zone between bulls and bears. Okay, if I go to my favorite trading view chart, we're getting close to this yellow line in the middle. So it's basically a fair zone. It's no advantage to bulls or bears. Okay, so still it's above this, so it's possible we can go slightly below and we can touch this yellow line, but still it's an ideal zone for both bulls and bears, so no advantage to anybody. Okay, if we go higher, 43.05 now, it's time to sell. If we go lower, around 36.75, it's time to buy. Okay, all right, now go to VIX. VIX had a bad day. Let's bring on all the SMA lines. You can see VIX is down 0.74%. I told you every day, look at this daily red SMA line. Okay, we were above that line in the morning and then we closed below line. That's really bullish. Okay, so I really prefer, based on VIX, I think we're gonna march towards the green line. Okay, so I think we have more upside before the dump. So next week we can still see this rally. Okay, and also you can see this daily downtrending line. This also needs to break. Okay, the acting as resistance. You can see how many times we are not able to close above that, so wait for that to break. Okay, Qs, same thing. There are two ideal zones. I'm not going to go in details in Qs. Just remember, if we go towards this green line on SPY, there are gaps around 322. So when SPY fills 421, I expect triple Qs to fill 322. Okay, just be mindful of that. Going to Dow Jones. Dow Jones was green, still chopping around. You can see how beautifully we captured this chop here. Okay, you can see this is support, 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 and above resistance, resistance, resistance. So until we break out, it's like a battle zone. Okay, so we can go again next week like this, this, and eventually we can break up or we can break down. Okay, I prefer break up, and this is the first target, 35,000. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Russell 2000, same thing, not much happening. It was green today, so that's a good news. And again, it's gonna be here same as SPY. So if you break up, then my first target is around 2012. There's a lot of support around 1903, so you can see support, support. It became, this is resistance, 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 and it broke out, back tested. Now we are going higher. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Again, let's quickly look at other sectors. Let's look at crude oil. Okay, so crude oil right now, let me delete this and go back to my other pointers. Okay, so crude oil had some weakness, 2% down today. Okay, looks like it wants to backtest this support here, $72. Okay, there's another support. If I go here quickly, there's another previous lows here. Okay, 70 bucks. All right, and then if I go to weekly chart, crude oil, there is a very good support around $66. Okay, if I go down a bit, you can see here This is the major support around 60. Okay, so I do expect 60. I think it's around $66. Okay, so I do expect between 70s to mid 60s crude oil to hit, and then we will have a massive rally after that. Okay, so some weakness in March. That weakness should be bought. Okay, you can buy crude oil miners. There's crude oil ETF XLE. You can buy that. So also you can look at. Let's quickly look at XLE since we're talking about energy. Okay, there's this trend line. Okay, look at this trend line. All right, let me get my right tool. So here's support, 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 broke down, then fake out, and now we are below this trend line. Okay, this is a sell signal. Okay, this means it's a sell signal. It was down 3.5%. This is a sell signal. Now where do we go from here? All right, so let's quickly look at horizontal line. There's a big gap here. Okay, guys, you can see this big gap here on daily around 72 bucks. That's our that's possible. Okay, also there's a lot of support here where we are right now. You can see a lot of times we had touchdowns here, and then we went up. So watch for support around 82 sorry, $82.57, and then if we break down, then this is going to be the ideal zone. So I would wait for this gap to be filled. Okay, so it could happen like, we can go here, find some support, then eventually we'll make our way down here, and then that will be area to buy to rip high. Okay, but again, we can still rip higher from $82. But as I'm expecting weakness in March, I do expect these gaps to fill. Okay, so my target will be $72 to buy energy sector. All right. Now moving along to natural gas, down 5.6%. So yesterday only I told you guys, go to 4-hour chart and do not buy until we close above this red SMA line. Okay, this is 50 SMA line on 4-hour. Okay, as long as we are below that, there is no buy signal. Okay, go to 1-hour chart. Let's see if there's any bullish momentum on RSI or PPR. No, look, we had a bullish momentum. Okay, we had a bullish momentum. Let's quickly get my tools. We had a bullish momentum. Okay, all right, on RSI and PPO, and now we are breaking below that. Okay, this is a really bad sign, and this is not good. Okay, one thing to note, if I go to monthly, okay, now since we broke below that, there's a lot of support around $2. All right, this is monthly chart. Okay, you can see since okay, this is the whole history of natural gas. Okay, so you can see in 90s we had a support here, then around 2001 support here, 2012 support here. We broke below this support slightly. 2015, then around 2020 we broke down, and then we pumped higher, and now we are getting close to it. So I will be now looking at $2 to buy natural gas. Okay, you can buy UNG. If you want to play leverage, you can buy Boyle. Okay, so keep an eye on that. All right. Okay, now Bitcoin behaving exactly like I said. Let's go to BTC futures. So huge congratulations to all my subscribers. You must have made a lot of profit. So I'm really happy for you guys. Okay, so now where do we go from here? All right. So you can see there is a massive gap here. Okay, around 20K. That's my target. All right. So Bitcoin pumped higher today. Yesterday it pumped higher, then it broke down. Okay, today we had a gap down, and then it went up to test previous highs. It did not touch the high, but it was close to it. But there's a lot of resistance around 25,300. Okay, so it could happen. What could happen? We could chop around this zone. Okay, next week or so we can chop around and then eventually dump, fill this area, and then we go higher. Okay, so keep an eye on that. All right, so that's my plan. No matter how we go there in March, it's going to be weakness. Okay, so buy around 20K, and then we're going to pump higher. All right. Ethereum not able to close above 17K. 17K is a huge resistance and a huge deal for Ethereum. You can see how much support we had in 2022 earlier. We could not break above this. We cannot break above this. We had a fake out here and then went below. Now we are also facing a lot of resistance. Okay, and you can also see we are going in. We are losing momentum. Okay, we are going down. RSI, PPO is going down. Okay, Price is going higher. Okay, so as long as Ethereum is below 1700, there's no buy zone. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Okay, gold daily chart exactly behaving as I predicted, guys. There could not be a better trade than gold. Okay, this is a flag, all right, and then we broke the flag, and if I can take this flag post from the broken flag, it's coming to around 1800. Okay, so I have 1790 here, but it can go anywhere near 1700 to 1790. Okay, so we're getting ready to buy gold miners, GDX, GDXJ. I have them on my radar here. Okay, guys, if you want to see this. Actually, GDX reached my buy target today, actually, but I did not buy because I think there will be some more weakness. So GDX, look at here, daily chart. All right, so this is the buy zone, okay, around 27 bucks. Okay, there's a lot of support here. You can see on GDX, resistance, broke out, support, support. Now we're coming back to support, okay? So around $27 would be good time to buy gold. That's what's up. Gold miners. Sorry, GDX is gold miners. So keep an eye on that. All right, what else is left? Let's quickly see. Dollar, sorry. So dollar had weakness, okay? We broke above this daily red SMA line, all right? And now we're going down, okay? So looks like this could have happened here like this, okay? So if we go up on SPY early next week, we can dump, okay? We can dump, we can even find support on dollar here because I'm thinking gold is gonna bounce very soon, all right? So if gold bounces soon, this can happen. This is a trend line. Dollar will find some support here, okay, and then it's gonna pump higher. All right. So what I'm planning to do? Spy if my targets are filled next week. Okay, if my targets are filled next week for $21, then I'm gonna exit and I'm gonna go start buying dollar. All right. So that's my plan. You can buy UUP. I can show you here UUP. This is the ETF, okay, which follows dollar. So I'm looking to buy this. All right, but let's wait for next week and see how things go. All right. Okay, treasuries, which is interest rate, had a down day today, still on breakout level. So I think it's possible treasuries can go again, find support here, and then when we have weakness in March, it can bounce higher like that. Okay, so that's target. You can buy PFIX. So wait for the dump, and then when we reach this trend line, okay, you can buy that. All right. And bonds, again, same thing. Bonds are behaving similar to stock market right now, but they're coming close to a great support here. Okay, so you can see there is a huge support here. That's where they are. All right, so it's possible we can bounce from here. Okay, we can go a bit slight higher, and then we can go and find support here, and then it's gonna rip higher. All right, that's my target on bonds. Okay, so there's another support line here. All right, this is a support line. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. Okay, any other big FANG stocks? Let's quickly look into Tesla. All right, this is my favorite stock, still holding it. Okay, we had a big sell-off yesterday, more than 5%, and look what's happening today. Okay, let's go to hourly chart to understand what's going on. Okay, okay, one thing to note, which kind of bothers me, is we have divergence on PPO and RSI. Okay, you can see there's divergence on RSI and PPO. Okay, price is going higher, and then PPO and RSI is going lower. Okay, let's zoom into hourly chart and see what happened today. Let me get rid of these SMA lines to see it properly. Right, so you can see this is support, support, support. This bottom support channel, we broke below this on February 14, Valentine's Day, and then we ramped up. Now we're coming for a back test. Okay, this is what's kind of bothering me. Looks like we broke, and now we're coming for a back test. Okay, now for me to get bullish again, I want to see this price action going inside this trend line. Okay, so above 211, 212, I would like to see this price line hourly candle close below that. Okay, so if we find again strong SPY next week, then if we follow this green line, then I think Tesla will go again in this trend line. Okay, and on daily it looks like it's slightly close below it, but you have to go to hourly to see. So I'm waiting for that to happen, and then if that happens, my targets are, again, as always, 238 is, there's a gap there, previous highs here, okay, and then get some weakness. Around 180 is a very strong support, okay. I see 176, 176.95, but there's a lot of support around 180 area. And then even if we get weakness in March, I think we'll find support, and then eventually we'll go to new all-time highs, okay. So keep an eye on that. Let's quickly look at Apple if there is anything interesting on Apple. This is Apple's daily chart, okay. Let's quickly see. Okay, well, very good. We're making a flag, okay. You can see this is flag post, this is flag, and then we found support right where we should find support. This is my support line, 150.27. You can see from last 2 weeks, we are just flagging, okay. We're going nowhere. Basically, we are chopping around, and basically we are holding that support. So that's a good sign. So if we get a breakout, okay, let's see if we can get a breakout. So if we can take a flag to flag post, okay, if I move this, depending on when we get breakout, let's say we get breakout next week, so my targets would be above 163, and then also it could go as high as 171. Okay, the flag target is right now gonna be 166, but yeah, there is some resistance here. It can happen, or we can go as high as 171. All right, let's quickly look at Amazon. Amazon, yeah, it's looks like it's making inverse head and shoulder. Okay, this is left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay, so we might be going a bit more higher. So if we get some strength next week, this can go a bit higher. Okay, and then eventually we're gonna break down. So what's the target? If I take a trend line, let's say head to, this is the neckline. Okay, if I take that down, I extrapolate, it's gonna be around previous lows. Okay, it's around here, $81. All right, so keep an eye on that. Google, Google, same thing, looks like again head and shoulder. Okay, same story. You have to take a distance, and then I think it's gonna go see previous lows. All right, Meta, Meta has a big gap, so I do expect this gap to fill when we see weakness in March. So as soon as we hit 154, look to buy it. Netflix, Netflix, there's a gap here. Okay, so that would be my target to enter Netflix. Okay, so there's a gap here, massive gap here around 325. Look to buy that. Microsoft had a gap down, so there are a lot of gaps on this chart. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see there's so many gaps. Here's gap around 272. Okay, and there's a gap around here around 267. There's another gap around 262 here. So it's 271, 267, and 262. So if we get a pump next week on SPY, all these gaps should be filled. All right. Nvidia, let's quickly go on daily chart. I don't see any divergence. Okay, little bit of divergence on RSI you can see on daily. Price is going higher, it's going lower. It's starting to have some divergence on basically PPO. Also, if I go to hourly chart, huge divergence on both PPO and RSI. Okay, price is going higher, this is going lower. I have a big gap here, 150 bucks. Okay, so that's quite a far away. I don't think it's gonna go hit 150 bucks. So if we find some weakness, okay, we are finding support here. Okay, so I don't think it's gonna break, but earnings is around the corner. Okay, so we gotta be careful. That's a big drop to have. I don't think it's gonna drop 26% on earnings if that happens. But anyhow, for now, there's support here. Earnings is a coin flip. So if things are going good, then it can also pump higher. Okay, so there are some gaps here even on the upside. So around 257. So if earnings are good, I expect this gap to fill. All right. AMD is very close to buy zone. Okay, it's near this gap fill here. There's a gap here around $78. So maybe Monday or Tuesday. So Tuesday, Monday is holiday. We will fill this gap and then we'll reply. All right. Okay, guys, that's it for an update here. If you need anything, if you want me to review anything, just put a comment. Please like and subscribe and share my channel with your friends so everybody can make money. It's free, so nothing to lose. Okay, guys, have a good one.